Okay. All right. Unapologetically me. Badman all gone. I don't know. I can well, not by just the name like that. I perhaps would have to look at the account because all the people may talk to every day, you know. Oh, you at work? Okay. Me too. Alright, guys. Good evening. How is everybody doing? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It's a Sunday. Okay, got it. Yes, Paulette Lewis, you can inbox me and I'll answer. My number was on the screen just now and I lost it there just now. I'm still I'm still being somewhat lagging on that, but it's gonna be next month. I've been hearing that now for the last 1 year, Badman. Go ahead with your question if you have one. But good evening, everybody. Welcome in. It's a Sunday. I know you guys have, I've not been pretty consistent, but I'm gonna try to be consistent this week. Alien, good evening. How you doing? I'm gonna try to be consistent this week. All right. But if you're joining and you'd like to chat with me one-on-one, my number is 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. We're going to talk U.S. immigration this evening. And we're going to see what, how much we can discuss. A lot of things are changing. You saw what's going on with H-1B. If you're outside of the country and you're on an H-1B visa, that means that you need to get back in before 12 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, your employer will have to pay $100,000. All right. Somebody says, after your marriage interview, what's the longest time someone ever take to get a response? I know someone who have done their marriage interview, I think from like 2022, and have not yet gotten a response. And they've done a lot. They have called, they've used Congress, they've used their representative, they've done a lot of things and still have not yet gotten a response. Typically they say in 120 days. Some people though, it do go over the 120 days. But let your U.S. citizen spouse follow up, yeah. My number is 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Okay. But how long now have you been waiting on, a decision or some sort of word as it relates to your green card? Guys, again, I'm still in New York. I'm gonna be here for another 2 weeks for those persons who want to meet me. I'm gonna be here, and I don't know what else I was gonna say. Yes, Mrs. D. Right. Yes, thank you. Can you pin it also, Danielle? Come on, guys, keep tapping the screen and sharing the live. Again, we're going to talk U.S. immigration. Everything that we discuss this evening is to be considered as educational resources. None of it should be understood as legal advice. All I ask you to do is to tap the screen for me right now. I'm trying to go to 10K likes, and let's get some people in. Let's ask our questions and let's learn together, okay? Do you know if an individual can apply now for employment authorization for asylum? Yes, they still can. If you need some help with that, reach out to me, 850-920-3475. Can I apply for a green card without seeing a judge? It depends on your situation. If you're in removal proceedings, it really depends on your situation. It really depends. You may want to reach out to us. We have an attorney on the team. We have a very strong team. We're actually even also hiring for a deportation team to make sure that we're offering you the best support. So yeah, if you're in removal proceedings, don't go through the process on your own. You can reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you. All right, somebody says, do you know if someone is qualified for US visa or not? So I don't know what you really call qualified for US visas, because there are persons who naturally would qualify for a US visa, go for an interview and is denied. And there are some people who we think would have not, is the least qualified, and they go and they get theirs approved. So I don't even know how to explain whether or not you're qualified. But what you're looking for is that you have some sort of ties to your home country. It's posted on Indeed. It's posted on Indeed, so you could apply there. Somebody says, I got an RFE and my biometrics is also scheduled. How do I go about it? Hey, do you want to reach out to me? God favor me. I can help you. Every day we help people with RFEs. As a matter of fact, last week we responded to an RFE for someone, and 2 days after we responded, they got approved. So if you can reach out to me, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475, and we'll be happy to help you. We're responding to your RFE. Somebody says, if your deportation order can't terminate, denied, what options do you have? If your deportation order can't terminate, denied, what options do you have? I do not understand that question. Can you rephrase and ask again? And somebody else here says, if someone here in the US apply for asylum, can their mother in Jamaica go to the embassy? Sure, because their mother will be adjudicated upon her own merits, and yes, they may consider the fact that the child is here in the US on a pending asylum. I do not work with no FlowJam Legal. I don't know what that is. I am record clerk for over 6 years in health sector, and I am a registered math teacher that teach privately. Okay. Did the interview July 3 and is still waiting. Understood. So 120 days has passed. Have you guys followed up yet? Have your US citizen spouse follow up? I tried to terminate my order for deportation, tried to reopen or terminate, denied while got married. So you were ordered deported, and then you're trying to reopen your case, but the judge denied it? Is that what you're saying? My asylum portal with USCIS changes from decision pending to asylum pending after interview. Okay. It means the same thing, really. Right? Any military parole in place approved for you lately? No, but I think I have 3 of them that we applied for recently, and they've went on to do their biometrics, or I think one has biometrics left to do, but not yet. Colonel, I'm looking for someone that have some sort of deportation experience. We have an attorney on the team, and we're looking for someone that can support the attorney writing motions and stuff like that. Okay. Will the pending asylum of the child in the USA, will it affect her getting... that's what I said. It perhaps will. Remember, visas are issued based on the discretion of the officer. So the officer may consider it, officer may not consider it. Okay. Hey, good evening. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you're joining, somebody says, what if you got married and not filed yet, and ICE comes to you and you have no legal status? Then you put yourself in trouble. Because if you are married, why is it that you would not have filed? Like if you're married, why don't you file? Because no, they're not going to wait on you to go and file. But if you had filed, you could say, hey, I'm actually waiting on my decision, or, oh, I have an approved I-130, and then that could get you out of deportation. But you got married and you're just sitting at home. And I think a lot of people are mistaking getting married to a US citizen, and they think that, okay, I just need to get married to a US citizen and then it fixed my status. No, you have to apply, and then you have to go through a rigorous process to get your status changed or adjusted. So you don't just get married to a US citizen and everything is good. All right, that's where the work actually begins. Somebody says my biometric was the 28th of August, but yet to be scheduled for interview. K1, married with a US citizen. That's fine. That's normal. What's the next step? Next steps when USCIS approved I-130 for an outside child. So you're saying that the child is outside of the US and an I-130 has been approved, then you should get communication royal from the NVC, National Benefit Visa Center, and they will send you 2 emails. And then you got to follow the instructions. If you want some help with that, you can reach out 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Somebody says the asylum portal with USCIS has changed from you keep asking the same question over and over expecting a different answer. I've answered you already. Which usually approves first, the I-130 petition or the I-131? I-131. Can you give some interview questions? I do have some interview questions in a book that I have on Amazon. You can buy it. It's called The Marriage-Based Green Card, and it's a workbook for persons going through the immigration process. So just go on Amazon, type in The Marriage-Based Green Card interview, and you will see the book come up. It's 80 questions I put together that they may ask you. All right. Somebody says, my friend got deported yesterday from Boston Airport. He has green card and he has some charges on him. And he got deported. Did he agree to leave? Because typically, if you have a green card and you're coming in and you have some charges, you'll be placed in removal proceedings. So I don't understand unless he chose to have, leave. My VAWA is in process. How long should I wait after sending in my RFE for evidence? I do not know. Hey, Rose Hyman, good day. Jamaican passport expired, living in NYC. How do I renew my passport? That's pretty easy, Faith. You can reach out and we can give you some sort of guidance. 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Somebody says, is there a way to track I-131 application the same way you track all other applications? It's the same way you do it. Unless you're talking about an I-131 for military parole in place, then that's a little different. And it's the same thing. You will put the receipt number in once you've gotten the receipt and track it that way. My son do biometrics. On Monday. What next? Because I file for him, but move it from Jamaica. I don't understand. Bless. Is it true that immigration is getting harder every day? Yes, it is. What is the wait time seen for DS-260 is approved? Who's petitioning for who? I am currently in New York, but I'm based out of Atlanta. Okay. ICE can no detain somebody, have appeal pending. You were already ordered removed, and you filed an appeal and you're asking if ICE can arrest you if you're out there committing crimes. You can go to Jamaica consulate in your state and fix your passport issues. I have 45 from Jamaica to here. Okay, so is he inside the US? Hey, Johnny Cash. Jay, what's the earliest consultation date you have? Tomorrow? I have tomorrow. Text 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Somebody says, what is the wait time for I-130 living out of the US? Anywhere from 1 to 2 years, depending on who is filing for you. Jay, did you get the... No, I haven't gotten the 17 Pro Max just yet. Do I can file for citizenship even got arrested before and paid fine and dismissed? When did you get arrested? How long ago? How much for marriage-based fee? It depends. 2,375 or 3,005. If someone seek asylum, got married to someone in the military, can you work on those cases? I work on those cases every single day. Every single day, Kelia. Every day. I have a lot of those cases right now. The number is 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Do you know if it will be an issue if I-45 in maiden name, but since is married name hyphenated? No, that won't be an issue. You chose whether or not you want to change your name. My fee, well, we got to talk one-on-one and then we discuss what fees look like. Okay? So typically, you got to wait like 5 years as it relates to good moral character, and see this administration is becoming even stricter on GMC when it comes down to citizenship. But typically, it's 5 years after the arrest and the charge and stuff like that, for you to have been like rehabilitated. All right. What is the current wait time for the DS? Melissa, go on to USCIS website and go to processing times and put it in. I cannot give you accurate timeline, and you guys are always asking for timelines. I can't give you accurate timeline. All right? And that's because the timelines fluctuate, and it also depends on the case. You and your brother might file the same time, have similar facts. Your brother's case is approved and yours is not. All right? And your brother's case is approved in 6 months and you're waiting for 2 years. You understand what I'm saying? So it really depends on the case. All right? Again, if you want to make contact with us, 850-920-3475. That's the number to text or call. It's 850-920-3475. Somebody says, I have a question. What if you want to go home? You can just buy a ticket and go home? Yes. Yes. If you are here illegally or undocumented and you want to go home, you can just buy a ticket and go home if you have your passport. Or if you want to take the government $1,000, you can also use the CBP Home app, get the $1,000 and go home. Well, you don't get the $1,000 until you reach home. So true. Me and my friend filed 1 month apart. My case is closed and she's still waiting to hear. Yeah, it happens. Consultation is $97. $97. You text or call us at 850-920-3475. Again, that's 850-920-3475. All right, can I call you and schedule? Yes, you can call the number right now, Kelia, and schedule the consultation for tomorrow evening. It's 850-920-3475. Call right now and someone is there ready to help you to schedule for tomorrow evening. No problem. Again, the number is on the screen, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Call us, text us, and we will help you to get your case processed. Okay? Again, everything that we share this evening is to be understood as educational resources. None of it should be deemed as legal advice. Again, we do have attorneys on our team. And we're also hiring for a paralegal to join our team. So, yeah, let us know. You said $1,000 cash? What are we talking about? Mrs. D, right? Google Me says, I always love your show. All right. Do asylum seekers have a case number? Yes, they do. Well, it depends, right? If you file an asylum with USCIS, you will get a case number, right, or a receipt number. And then if you file with the court, you have to use your A number to get information on your asylum. Okay? All right. So you call, you got no answer. I haven't seen that you call. I don't see that you call. Make sure 850-920-3475. Here's the thing. If you called Kelia, right, and we didn't answer, you will get an automatic text message to say, so sorry. Yeah, so you did call. I see the text message now. All right, I did see it. So you got a text message to say that we're sorry we missed your call, and then it sent me a message to say that I missed the call from you and I need to reach out to you ASAP. All right, somebody will be calling you shortly. Somebody will be calling you back shortly. All right. Hello, I'm from Atlanta. Do you speak Asian Creole? I have an immigrant on the expired humanitarian. I do not speak Asian Creole. I'm so sorry. But that doesn't mean that we can't help, okay? What if you're in the US illegally but came up on a work program but recently have a child on the way? Okay? So if you have a child on the way, how comes you have a child on the way? Tell me how that happened. How did you meet that child? Tell me a little bit more about that story. What if the prima facie determination expired? Then you typically get a new one from USCIS. Once it expires, they send you a new one. Okay? Somebody says, good afternoon, how are you? Is it gonna possible if you're a US citizen to bring your adopted? Yeah, once a child is adopted and you adopt the child before the child became 16, then you might be able to bring the child here. All right, somebody says, asking the same question. All right, Kelia, no problem. No problem. No problem. All right, some people are saying conditional card holders should not travel. What do you think? Whether your card is conditional or unconditional, it's still a green card and it allows you to travel. So the decision again is yours whether or not you want to travel. Okay? Married, exactly, because that's where I want to go to. Marry the person. I mean, I don't want to say marry the person. Who is the person that you made the child with? You know, is that a US citizen? What's going on there? I have an immigrant on the expired humanitarian parole. But you can reach out to 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Somebody says, not me, my friend, he has a girlfriend, but they have a child on the way. He overstays work visa. Is the girlfriend a US citizen? Right, so the child should not be born outside of wedlock. Tell your friend that the child should not be born outside of wedlock. Christian values says the child should not be born out of wedlock, so he needs to marry the child's mother. Okay? And then call us 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Somebody says, what about people who've been here for 3 years without court but a work permit? What can they do? They should be actively looking at other reliefs. Don't just come here and sit like fried dumpling. You should actively be looking at other form of relief. Hey Kevin, good evening. Thank you so much for joining, guys. If you're just joining, come help me to tap the screen. I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm trying to go to 10k likes and I'm still at 5, so I'm gonna stop talking. Sonia, if you want to reach out to me, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. No, they're gonna call you back. They're gonna call you back, Kelia. Go ahead and it's all right. So just send me a text message on here and we'll connect. All right. When I say forms of relief, so asylum is a form of relief and you applied for that already. a VAWA, a marriage based to a U.S. citizen, a T visa, U visa. Those are what we call forms of reliefs. Okay. Guys, all I'm begging is for you to tap the screen for me. I'm trying to go to 10K likes. Can you help me? Please. Somebody says, does it so long? Open emotion application. What are we talking about, Trish? Trish, can you retype that so I can see? Please, I'm ready. I have a pen. Okay, 850 920 3475. That's 850 920 3475. Come on, guys, 10K likes. Let me tap the screen. I was telling you, I come on here just to offer you guys this information free. Because again, I could be down the road at Soho shopping, or I could be on Fifth Avenue shopping. All right, no problem. Thank you. Come on, guys, keep tapping the screen. All right. Again, so for those persons who are sitting and wait, because somebody asked a question a while ago, you get married and you haven't filed anything, and then ICE come and pick you up. Why would you have gotten married and just sit down? What are you waiting on? Tell me. I have a quick phone with State RU. I am in New York as we speak, but I'm also but I'm based out of Georgia. No, Mrs. D. Wright, I did not get any of the new phones. You want to get me one? You want to get me one? I still have my 16. If I have my work permit, can I travel on it? TSA does accept your work permit as a valid form of ID to travel. Yes. Good evening. Please, can I travel abroad with my 2-year green card for 3 weeks? It's your green card and it allows you to travel. Come on, guys. We're trying to go to 10K likes real quick. Okay. What next after NTA notice? Good question. So after getting an NTA notice, right, which is a notice to appear, means that you have to show up in front of an immigration judge. The next thing is that you're going to need a lawyer. So if you go and you check your mail and there's an NTA in your mail, then your next phone call should be to an attorney. All right. You can also call us because we have attorneys on the team. 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Because now you're in removal proceedings and you're going to need some sort of help to navigate and get out of removal proceedings. Okay? Can I travel to Puerto Rico with an ID? Depending on your status. All right? If I want to call, can I call anytime? Like in the afternoon? Or can I call now? You can call now and somebody will answer the phone and help you to book a consultation. You don't talk to me for free. Okay? I am in New York and right now, but I'm based in Georgia. It also doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter where I'm at. And if you, for example, are trying to have your court online, finding a lawyer out of state is kind of good. Yes, a green card holder can file depending on who they're filing for. All right. What can he apply for a while here now? Who we talking about again? Fly girl? I don't remember. If you file for asylum, can you get out of NTA? No. You'd have to, your case will be adjudicated in the court if you file for an asylum now. A lot of people who get out of, get out of court are those who have like approved I-130s. And if you have an approved I-130, I don't know why you'd want to come out of the court because the judge can make the decision on the green card. And sometimes that's even faster. Okay. Well, I don't know what relief he qualifies for. That's what I'm saying. We can have to have the conversation to know what he would qualify for. All right? Who are you to him? Are you his U.S. citizen girlfriend? Okay, you're an intimate friend. Okay, so are you a U.S. citizen intimate friend? Due in December to remove my conditions of 2-year green card. Husband just died. What's next? I'm so sorry. You need to make a consultation with somebody. All right. I'm so sorry to hear of your husband's death. My condolences. But again, you will need to consult with somebody to guide you on way forward. If you get married to a U.S. citizen before an NTA hearing, are you protected? I won't say that you're protected, but can you use it as a defense to deportation? You can. All right. So Fly Girl 2K, if you're a U.S. citizen, right, and your Asian friend, your Asian intimate friend, he has his humanitarian parole, which has now expired, there might be some options there between the two of you. If someone has been deported back to their home country, it's all hopes you're deported. You're deported. So typically you have to spend your time, which is maybe like 10 years. And then after that, you could try again. All right. What about people with court, but they have work permit and they came through the border? That's what I'm saying, Sheriff. They need to be working on their relief. They need to be working on their defense to deportation. So you came through the border and you were automatically placed in deportation. You filed an asylum. It appears as if you got a work permit. If your asylum is very strong and you have the evidence to prove your case, then you're just waiting to hear your case, right? And then, if your asylum is approved, then that may grant you a green card. Otherwise, you need to find what we call relief. So you got to find another relief. And I have explained already that a T visa is a relief, which is, perhaps you were trafficked. A U visa if you're a victim of a crime. Perhaps you got married to a U.S. citizen. Perhaps you have somebody who is abusing you and you could file for VAWA. So those are the reliefs. Those are the stuff that you use as defense against your deportation. All right. Can a military child file for that deported? Yes, the military child can file, but because you're military doesn't mean that it forgives their deportation. Okay. This is the 6 months since I got my work permit and SSN. What next can I do for my green card? What case are you, or what case type? What about people who is on F1 visa and got married waiting on interview? Well, exactly. In the question lies the answer. The answer is exactly there in your question. Can someone marry a U.S. citizen with less than a year in their relationship? I can meet a U.S. citizen tomorrow and decide that we're madly in love and we're going to get married. Okay? You're asking if they're not going to give you court. I don't understand. Guys, you can't expect that you're going to come on TikTok. You're going to send a one-liner to me, and then I understand everything that's happening in your world, and I can say, oh, no, you're not going to have court. Oh, yes, you're going to have court. I don't know, really, because I really don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about your case. You understand? The questions that are to be asked here are generalized, So it's general questions. The answers will benefit everybody. IJ, I just did my interview. I-130 was approved. Got RFE for medical. It's been 3 weeks since I mailed it. It's going to be approved shortly. Don't worry. Will you get picked? Somebody says, will you get picked up by ICE after an NTA hearing? No, not typically. Unless you're a violent criminal. What if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you came through the border and your application is pending? Keep talking to your lawyer. No notice that they receive the medical. They won't typically send you any notice. All right. Consultation is $97 and you can text or call us at 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. So that's $97, 850-920-3475. I also got my work permit. Do you think my interview will go smooth? I don't know. I don't know anything about your case. I don't know what your case is. I cannot tell you that your interview is going to go smooth. I'm not the one preparing you for your interview. My EAD is 6 months and a half without approval. What is your... I have nothing, really. Under what category have you applied for that EAD? I came through the border in 2023. I applied for asylum and I got my work permit, but still hasn't gotten court. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. All right, so ICE is not going to pick you up. Ma'am, I told you before that you can reach out to us, schedule a consultation to speak with one of our attorneys, and then, we may decide whether or not we want to take on your case. All right. I have asylum case pending, but did not receive any hearing. It says no future hearing, and that's fine. It means that the judge needs to recalendar you. All right. I got married last week to a U.S. citizen, and my package was delivered on Monday. Congratulations. If you got your work permit, and your case says get denied, yes, they take back the work permit. So if you had applied for a case and you had gotten a work permit and then later on your case denied, your work permit is no longer good. All right. How soon will I get a reply from USCIS? Guys, I do not work up by USCIS, Okay, your EAD is based on pending asylum. And you can call them and follow up. write them a note or something. So ICE will not pick me up after the hearing. How long to remove conditions from 2-year green card? Joyce, once you file now, right, and you should file 90 days before. Once you file, you are getting what we call, they oftentimes like extending your thing to like 48 months. And then if you're still married and stuff, after 3 years, you can, file for naturalization. All right. Somebody says, if you miss NTA, will you be rescheduled? No, if you miss your NTA, you'll be ordered removed. Okay, if you missed your NTA, you'll be ordered removed. But my husband is 25 years older than me. Do you think USCIS will accept that? Once you can show proof that the relationship between you and your husband is legitimate and you guys did not get married for the purposes of a green card. You understand? Can you please explain about Section 236? Because a lot of rumors also saying that nobody can get bond. So it depends. If you came across the border and you're picked up by ICE, then your chances of getting a bond might be very slim. If you had good entry, then yeah, you perhaps might face a better chance of getting a bond. But yes, it has become very hard for people to get bond out of immigration detention. Good evening. I have good news. I have a U.S. citizen now. You are a U.S. citizen now, or you have one? Anthony, you're a U.S. citizen now. Congrats. You say you have one, or you are now a U.S. citizen, Anthony? Okay, you are now. Well, congratulations. Extremely happy for you. Yeah, man. I'm so happy for you. The way I'm happy for you, you should have buy me a drink. Somebody says, sir, could you help me with my asylum case? I'm Portugal national. Certainly. Go ahead and reach out to us, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. If you're not a criminal, then ICE will not pick you up after your hearing. I don't know who ICE is going to pick up after their hearing, right? I really don't know. What I did say to you is some people do get to attend their hearing via video. And I went as far and I explained how that is possible. I even gave you our contact number so that you could reach out to us to talk with our deportation defense attorney. And you still depend on send message, ask the same question over and over. So I'm kind of lost. I don't know if you're not following or something. Can I apply for a green card after getting my work permit and SSN? It's now 6 months asylum case. That's not how it works. So here's how. So not because you applied for an asylum and your work permit was approved mean that your case is going to be approved. That's not the case. Not at all. Your asylum has to be approved before you can apply for green card. All right. Okay, so Anthony says he's going to buy me a drink. All right, cool. Where are you, Anthony? Somebody says, can I come? You want to come to me? When they put in this marriage thing, must be real, because yeah, it gotta be real. It's gotta be real. Whether or not Trump is the president, it had to be real, right? Virgo Bay, good evening. How are you doing? Somebody says, ICE, I pick up all American citizens. All right. Thank you so much for answering the question like that for me. Goalie side. Because ICE is even picking up American citizens. So I don't know why this person think I'm going to know exactly. ICE doesn't send me a list of the people, I wish they did. Oh no, I'm going to make Jay start speaking in tongues. Oh my God. All right. The hearing is on 10/6. Is that enough time to get a virtual hearing? Miss, your hearing is 10/6. You do not have time to be on TikTok asking these questions. You need to be finding an attorney to book a consultation with them to see if they're willing to take on your case, considering that they literally have like 2 weeks. Okay? Is it possible? Yes, it is. But if you stay on TikTok and ask the questions here, it may not be possible. You have to go and find an attorney, book a consultation with the attorney, and see if the attorney can help you through the process. You understand? If you're married to a U.S. citizen, can you cross the border? Sorry, if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you cross the border, do you have to leave the U.S.? It depends on your situation. It really depends. All right. Some people who cross the border, they weren't paroled, and so they get married to U.S. citizens. They have to leave to be processed. Others, they were paroled, and they might be able to use the parole to adjust. And others, they weren't paroled, but they got married to U.S. citizen, active military, or retired, and they file military parole in place, which is a waiver, which allows them to stay here and adjust. Okay, again, if you're trying to reach out to us, the number is on the screen. It's 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. You text that number and we get connected with you. All right, again, we're talking U.S. immigration. Everything we're discussing is for educational purposes. None of it should be understood as legal advice, okay? Hey, good night, Jen. But again, as I've said, if you're in deportation proceedings, you should not be doing it alone. And those deportation proceedings, how do you know you're in deportation proceedings? You get what is called an NTA, a notice to appear, a notice to show up in front of an immigration judge. A lot of people find themselves in deportation proceedings because they get their green card application denied. And right now, USCIS is not playing. As soon as it's denied, they're sending you the letter for deportation. I just married to a U.S. citizen and I'm on an F1 visa and my F1 visa is expired, but I'm on OPT. Okay. So and based on what you said, it sounded as if you have already applied for adjustment to status. So you're just waiting on a decision from USCIS. All the best. Congrats. Guys, we've been talking for 47 minutes. I'll go for another 13 and that would give me an hour on here. It's a Sunday evening. Maybe more and go somewhere, go eat something nice and, drink something. Do you know any immigration counselor I can talk to? When you say counselor, you're talking about like a psychologist or psychiatrist? If that's the case, yes. Yes, Island Sweetie, I do J1 waivers. Go ahead and reach out to me, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. As a matter of fact, I do everything in immigration. Don't let my name fool you. We help a lot of people too, though, who are in deportation proceedings. If I'm a soldier from JDF and retired and want to join the U.S. Army, would it be easier? You have to have a green card. So you still have to have a green card. J1 is a visa type. It's a visa type, the Students Exchange Program. Can you help someone with TPS to get a green card? They can book a consultation and we see what they qualify for. 850-920-3475. Somebody says, I'm talking about the person I can talk to see if I have a better chance of getting a visa. Sure. No, Kojo, I'm still in New York. I am still in New York. Gonna be here for at least another 2 weeks and then I will go home and just wait to hear where I'm gonna be traveling next. Hey, Angel from Tennessee, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. Still in New York. Can a person represent themselves in an ICE custody? They can. Oftentimes, a lot of people go to ICE custody by themselves, but a lot of people are kind of scared now because ICE is holding on to people. And even if you have an attorney, that doesn't save you. It doesn't really save you. You know what I would do if I were here and I was in deportation proceedings? if I were here, if I came across the border, for example, or if I were here and I'm in deportation proceedings and I apply for an asylum and I have a work permit, this is what I would do. One, I would get 2 to 3 jobs. I try to get at least minimum 2 jobs. And I would try to live way beyond my live a minimalistic life. I would work and I would get a piece of land or something in my home country and I would build a house. Okay? 1 year, build a proper house. All right? That's what I would do. Build a proper house, 1 year. And then I will work, I'll keep working my 2 jobs. I will have a bank account, which is called, I'll have 2 bank accounts, 2 savings accounts, right? 1 here in the US and 1 back in my home country. The one back in my own country is in US dollars. And every month, right, I would save, say for example, I'm saving $500. I'm saving $250 in the US account and $250 in the US account back home. That's how I would save, right? And then I would also prepare an action plan in the event things don't work out and I have to go back home. Because 1, I already have a house back home. And 2, I have 2 savings accounts, 1 in the US. And because I worked for the last 3 years or the last 5 years and I was saving, I have $50,000 in the account in the US. That's what I was able to save. And I have the same $50,000 in the account back in my home country. Now I have $100,000 and they said that they're deporting me. I would feel bad, but I'm prepared. That's all I'm saying. All right. Somebody says how to unlock a submitted DS-260. I don't think you can unlock it. Can I travel domestically if I have a pending green card application and interview coming up? Sure, you can. Please, can I travel? Yes. How long does VAWA case? 1 to 3 years. Closer to the 3 years. That's how long VAWA is taking. Marriage, besides marriage certificate and courthouse marriage, what else need to file? If you got married to a U.S. citizen and you're trying to file an adjustment of status, you have to show proof that your marriage is legitimate. And so that's where the joint bank account, joint lease agreement, joint insurance policies, joint credit cards, affidavit, pictures, that's where all of those stuff comes in. That's where all of that come in, you know. So it's not about just sending marriage certificate. That's where all of that come in, you know. So it's not about just sending marriage certificate. How long after biometrics you get a response? Typically after you do your biometrics, your case is updated to say that you have done the biometrics. But get a response on what? Your green card application, it really depends. Can travel without work permit if you're undocumented. You travel at your own risk. I will give you a call, please, okay? Can you travel to your country with an asylum green card? Sir, so you applied for an asylum because you were fearful of your life in your home country. They approved your asylum and give you a green card and then you want to go back to your home country, the same place you were fearful of your life? Think about it. Can I travel on my 10-year green card? Why could you not travel on your 10-year green card, Jen? Tell me why you can't travel on it. Can you be denied of your green card after being granted asylum? I mean, if something, you know, when they're processing the green card, if something comes up and they think that you're not qualified for it, then perhaps. Good afternoon. How long it takes for a citizen parent filing for a son? Where's the son located? And those processes typically, you know, if the child is under 21, it takes 1 to 2 years. Can I recommend someone to you to start a VAWA case? Yes, you can. 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Somebody says here, is there any specific amount your spouse has to make to file for you? Not really. If your spouse is not making enough, then you might need a joint sponsor. I am talk about work permit. Okay. How long does it take to get I-45 marriage base to be approved? Right now, they're taking anywhere from 6 to 9 months. All right. Somebody says, hey, I'm a citizen. Now this Brenda, I don't know if I remember me. I'm not sure, Brenda. Can I travel on my green card if I have a pending criminal charge? I would want to relax if I were you. Somebody says, is there any specific amount you're supposed? You asked that question already and I've answered. Jamaica over 21. Yeah, that's going to take some time. Maybe 5 to 10 years. All right. My cousin have an interview coming up. She and her husband have a bank account together and a lease agreement. Okay, that's not bad. They need to keep putting more stuff together though. Question: if a mistake was made on the I-9 work applications, status would be a problem. What mistake was made? Tell me about the mistake. If the asylum is denied, can the person be a citizen? If the asylum is denied, then no. You have to first get an approved asylum and then get a green card in order to become citizen. What if you violate your visa and got married to a U.S. citizen? Is that fine? I won't tell you that that's fine. But if you violated your visa and you got married to a U.S. citizen, you want to call me, 850-920-3475. All right. Got a white paper after the interview saying that the case is being held for review. That's typically, everybody typically get that paper. And they tell after 120 days. It's when applying for citizenship. I'm not following Jamaican 6, I guess 6 feet 4 inches. I'm not understanding. How long does it take for I-130 to be approved? Anywhere, it depends on who's filing for who, but I'm seeing approvals anywhere from 6 months to 18 months. When policy denying pending asylum to adjust status using EB end from like 2023. Can I be able to travel if I'm a resident? From like 2023. Can I be able to travel if I'm a resident as an immigrant if you qualify? You can. You have a green card. How long will it take for your 20-year-old it is work permit, etc.? You're a green card holder and you're filing for a 20-year-old son. I don't think that child might be able to get a green card because you can't adjust the child's status, which means no 45 should be filed. And if there's no 45 filed, then you wouldn't be able to file for the green card. My I-130 has been at step 2 for 8 months. Is that normal? Yes, very normal. My wife, but she's a green card. My I-130 has been at step 2 for 8 months. Is that normal? Yes, very normal. My wife, but she's a green card holder. Okay. Can you be person second lawyer? What does that mean? For example, if you want to bring your adopted daughter here, how long is it going to take? That I'm not sure. Anywhere from 1 to 2 years, maybe 3. USCIS priority date moved up to 2024 February. My priority date now stands July 2025. Can it be a what? Can I file for a green card as an immigrant here in the US? Nothing will happen after the interview. Can it be a what? Can I file for a green card as an immigrant here in the US? Nothing will happen after the interview. I need to know more about your situation. So book a consultation for 850-920-3475. Somebody says, will the policy denying? No. Yes. Yes, Sean. Yes. Yes, Sean. I needed to do that puzzle thing that TikTok asks you for after talking for an hour. It means that it's time for me to go. What is the next step after your asylum is denied? You either appeal the asylum or you're ordered removed. Well, you're ordered removed and you can appeal the decision. It's been 7 months and I haven't gotten a work permit or anything. Is that normal? Yes, it is. Hey, Sophia, good evening. My son has an asylum case 9th of September. What can he expect at the hearing? Is that his last hearing? That's where they're going to ask stuff based on the merits of the case. We all restart my phone, thinking it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. I just needed to have done that. But my phone was moving a little slow. But thank you so much again, guys, for coming on this evening. If you want to talk to me, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. That's what will get you connected. You will pay $97 to chat with me one-on-one. You keep asking the same question over and over and over and over about the same policy thing as if you're a scratch record. The policy was one way and now it's changed to this way. Why do you think they're going to go back? Why do you think they're going to go back to that? Do you see the government is trying to put any immigration policies in place to help anybody? They're trying to make it more difficult. So why would they go back? Hey, Andrea, my internet went out, so I don't know if you answered my question because I did not hear. What was your question? But again, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. That's the number to connect with me if you're trying to book a consultation. Consultation is $97. I have not had Sunday dinner yet. I think I'm going to go to Sweet Green to get me a salad. How long does it take to get a green card after you got married to a U.S. citizen with no legal status? I do not know. You says you don't have no legal status. Like, there's so much I don't know about your situation. How did you enter the U.S.? What's your criminal background like? What are some of your answers to the yes or no questions on the application form? There's just so much that we don't know. When did you get married? What do you have as proof to show that your marriage is legitimate? Like, there's just so much. You don't even know if you can file for an adjustment of status. Maybe when the Democrats come back in, please. What an adjustment of status? Maybe when the Democrats come back in, please. What else my cousin need to put together for an interview? No, I was saying they still can get the insurance documents. They can get their affidavits. The stuff that they don't have, they can work on them to bring them in. All right. Do you need a tax transcript to be added to your adjustment of status? Typically, yes, for the sponsor. Hey, Genuine, what's going on? What's going on? Somebody says, my friend got US visa approved for a tournament. Is it B1, B2, 3 years? Can he visit family on it? If it's a B1, B2, yes, he can. You say Rocky cool, what that mean? I don't know what that mean. Genuine. I don't know what that mean. I'm a resident. Can I travel out of the country to Jamaica? Why would you not be able to travel, Jen? And Jen, you have been asking me the same question over and over and over and over. You have told us that you're a 10-year green card holder and you want to travel to Jamaica. Why do you think you cannot travel to Jamaica? That is the question I've been trying to ask you, and you're not giving me the answer. Why do you think you can't travel to Jamaica? Tell me. Is it normal to schedule for interview before I-75? Yes, it is normal. Yes, it is normal. Guys, remember, with your green card, the privilege of traveling comes with it, okay? The green card has the privilege of traveling in and out of the country, all right? So, as long as you don't have any criminal record and stuff like that, then you're free. If you have criminal record and all of those related stuff, talk to your immigration attorney before you move. You understand? Okay. I have an interview on the way. Should I be scared? No. You should be prepared. Precious Collins, you should not be scared. You should be prepared. Okay? Guys, you have those interviews coming up. Don't be scared. Instead, be prepared. Make sure you're preparing yourselves for this interview. And if you're doing a match-based interview, both you and your spouse should be syncing. And I don't mean SINKING, I mean SYNCING. If you don't know what a criminal record is, then go to your bed. This is adult people conversation. I don't have a joint account. Does that make... A joint account is important because it shows that there's some sort of financial relationship. You understand? It's important. Asylum interview also, they just kidnapped my brother back home for the same reason I left. Okay? Make sure you're preparing for your interview, Precious. Make sure you're preparing for your interview. You understand? Make sure you're preparing for interview. Guys, I did promise you an hour. I have been talking with you for an hour, 8 minutes. Again, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. Text or call us, and we'll be happy to chat with you. Somebody says, but I don't work. I am at college right now. Okay? So my friend, good take a trip on his B1, B2. That's your friend decision, but yes. Hey, Arlene, how you doing? Can you file for asylum before NTA hearing? Yes, you can. Hey, Vish, what's going on? Happy Sunday. When can I call? You can call the number. Again, you're not going to talk to me unless you book a consultation. You got to pay $97 to talk to me, okay? What is the success rate of passing EB3 interviews over non-immigrant visa interviews? If EB3, you see, it means that your EB3 would have already been approved. So you're not really doing an EB3. You're going there for... the non-immigrant visa, because EB3 you don't do an interview for that. Hey Nads, joint account is good with husband and lease agreement is not good enough for interview. Joint account and just lease agreement, like, they're good, but good enough? No, you can't have too much evidence. And just joint bank account and the lease is not sufficient evidence. There's strong evidence, but it's not sufficient. Okay? How long after master hearing do we get the master hearing? How long after master hearing do you get the individual? At your master hearing, the judge will tell you when is your individual. call us 850-920-3475 or text 850-920-3475 and then we'll help you to book. All right. Somebody says, if I don't work right now due to college, do I need a joint bank account? Yeah. People when I work have bank account. People that are not working have bank accounts. How long after master hearing do we get master hearing? Stop asking the... Again, it was good connecting with you this evening. For those of you that behave yourselves. The rest of you who didn't behave yourselves, I hope you behave yourself next time. Again, the number to contact us is 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. If you're seeing me for the first time, go ahead and give me a quick follow. We Talk US Immigration. I can assist you also with your processes, whether it's marriage-based green card, asylum, VAWA, U visa, T visas, EB1, EB2. If you're in deportation, then you want to reach out to us. We've helped a lot of people in deportation to get their green cards or, you know, to get their asylums approved or to walk out to deportation. All right. Anybody going to the interview, remember what you must put on from where you're applying for your visa. Oh, what you put on the form. Yes. That's important. When you're going for the interviews, you have to remember what you put on the DS-160 because it may come back to haunt you. Have a blessed evening. These people are asking crazy questions. They are asking crazy questions and they're not paying attention. You know, that's the thing. They're not paying attention to what they're typing. And they're also not rereading what they're typing. All right. But thank you so much again for joining me this evening. Have yourself a blessed Sunday now, or is a blessed Sunday now. And again, I'm at your disposal, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. It's $97 to book a chat. Again, 850-920-3475. That's 850-920-3475. When are the renewal? You do interview for what? Renewal of green card? Yes. Yes, when you're removing the conditions. Hey, Sexy Nikki. Good evening, guys. Thank you so much again. Have yourself a good night now. Call us 850-920-3475 or text us 850-920-3475. Yes. For visas, yes. Same thing. All right. Thanks again. We'll talk again tomorrow. Until then, good evening.